Hi, this is Jess. I'm doing a video blog, and this video blog is about, I guess it's on the subject of lifestyle changes. And specifically for me, it was, it's regarding my food intake, so it would be my diet, my exercise routine, and also another change I wanted to make in my life was limiting my information intake, so going on an information diet, specifically with news and stuff like that. I didn't want to be a news junkie anymore, so, and just being watching a whole lot of TV. I really wanted to do something more. So with that, and I'll tell you the story real quick. Right before the New Year, it just happened before the New Year, I had a exercise machine. It was an elliptical trainer that it just kept on breaking. I mean, I remember like during the summer I was taking parts to the welder so he could weld the a cross member back on. And granted, it wasn't costing a lot of money, but it was a real pain in the ass to have to take apart and get it fixed, and then it would just break again. And the thing was just like, you know what? It's just going to nickel and dime me, so it's like I got to get rid of this machine. But I had to make a decision. What was I going to do in its place? I needed to do something else, so I didn't want to get another machine. I didn't want to spend another $600 and having to lug this thing every time, you know, even to lug it from room to room. I mean, it was like too big. Get rid of this machine, you know, Craigslist, have someone just come over, pick it up for free, and that's what happened. And it took maybe a week or two for someone to come over and pick it up, but they finally got it out. And I thought aerobics would definitely be better. I mean, it would be more dynamic, more, I guess, more overall exercise for your whole body, cardio and legs, everything. This gave me a chance to figure out where I was going to get the aerobics, whether I was going to get a DVD or watch it on YouTube or whatever. Luckily, I was able to find something on YouTube, and starting off with really light, low impact, and there was like a dance aspect to it also. And so but I also knew that, you know, just intuitively, I guess, that the subconscious mind is very powerful. And what happens is when you label something as a New Year's resolution, at least for me, and I think most people in general, you're basically giving yourself permission to fail. You're giving yourself a way out of doing what you want to do, what your intention was. Only because New Year's resolutions, everyone, it's got like the highest failure rate. So I kind of knew, like, going into this, it's like, you know, I feel like I know not to call this, not to refer to this as a New Year's resolution. Do not call it a New Year's resolution. And this is just me thinking to myself, and how because I knew I was starting at the beginning of the year, but this is really important. I know I'm stressing this and everything, and this is really important, this aspect. The other thing was, with diet, okay, it was also along the same lines, is not to refer to it as a diet. Okay, when it's a lifestyle change, it means you're doing this, like, you're planning on doing this the long term, okay, years or forever or whatever, until something even better comes along, okay? But this is what you're planning on sticking with. You're not planning ever going back to your old way. And diet tends to mean that it's like a temporary change, where it's like, well, I'm going to get to 130, and then I'm going to go back to eating my pizza every Friday. Okay, this was my, you know, my habit was like, you know, and I used to think I deserved it. It's like, you get to indulge every Friday. You can have a couple slices or whatever, or maybe every couple weeks, but I'm definitely eating too many carbs and I want to lose a few pounds. And I always had a magic weight that I was looking for. 130, I'd be really happy. For my food, I was having, and I still do it today, I make mason jar salads. And the mason jar salads are basically, you make the salads for the whole week and you put them in mason jars and you put them in the fridge so you have the meals already made up, so there's no excuse not to miss it. But chickpeas and chia seeds, romaine lettuce, and anything you want that's healthy. The other thing I realized, because I really started getting into this mind thing, like how the mind plays games, or not that it plays games, but it kind of addresses things for you. Like by referring something by a certain name, you're basically giving certain limits, like how long is this supposed to last? It might not even last. It might even get off the ground if you call it like a New Year's resolution, a diet. I needed to replace that machine with some kind of device, whether it was weights. It took me till about February till I figured out how I was going to replace that machine, because the machine was long gone at that point. I needed something to replace it. There was a void there. So the hula hoop, the thought of the hula hoop, and I was like, okay, maybe I'll get me a hula hoop. And and it took some time to actually figure out where the hell to get one. It was something I kind of like wanted to do for a long time, I guess. Well, if you look behind me here, there's some hula hoops. And the first one was an exercise hoop, but it wasn't good enough, so I had to build the irrigation tube one. And it took me a couple weeks to get that thing to stay around my waist. But then right after those couple weeks, things just started, improving, like exponentially, I guess. When I was doing shoulder hooping, off-body maneuvers. And not a pro, mind you, but not looking too bad either. It was really taking off. I mean, more so than the aerobics. Still to this day, I'm loving it. I guess I slowed down with it a little bit. I mean, because there was like this amazing, I guess, momentum in the beginning, and then it's kind of slowed down a little bit, but I still love it. Okay, it's not like I gotta, learn a new trick every day, and I keep on calling them tricks, and I hate calling them tricks, but maneuvers. A trick sounds like something like I'm juggling or something. Remember, you're going to have a void. If you replace something, like if you were to quit smoking, you got to replace it with something. Not with a hula hoop, but you got to find something to replace it with, because there's a void. It's a psychological thing, but it's the difference between success and failure. So I hope that was helpful, that you gotten something out of this. If you liked it, click like. Feel free to subscribe. And thanks for watching.